हेलो दोस्तों, बहुत दिनों के बाद आप सबके साथ बात हो रही है। आशा करती हूँ आप लोग सब अच्छे हो। मैं अब इंडिया में नहीं हूँ। मैं आई हूँ मेरे बेटी के घर पे मेरे ग्रैंड डॉटर को देखने के लिए। उसका अब 2 महीना हो गया है, तो मैं उसका साथ थोड़ा दिन रहूँगी। तो उन लोगों ने मुझे घुमाने के लिए लेके आए थे कैडबरी वर्ल्ड में, यूके के कैडबरी वर्ल्ड में। और उस दिन था हेलोइन में हम लोगों ने हेलोइन का गेटअप करके कैडबरी वर्ल्ड में आए थे। वहाँ में बहुत सारा लोग भी ऐसे ही आए थे, तो हम लोगों ने उस दिन बहुत एंजॉय किया है। तो आप लोग भी थोड़ा सा देखिए।
आजकल यहाँ बहुत tayo na gitu mah.
Just to prove my own strength. Sometimes I don't decide. Self-confidence is on the low.
좀 더 걸어.
So if we boils down, wash your hands to the basics and head down to our next activity.
It has that snap to it, and it has that lovely brown colour with no white or orange streaks in our chocolate. So the workers in the factories were actually called Cadbury's Angels, and they were called Cadbury's Angels because they were a group of women and their uniform was all white. And they would do this 8 hours a day, 5.5 days a week, making chocolate over and over again. As you can see, the chocolate is changing consistency, getting a bit thicker, which is a sign that our chocolate is almost tempered. But to make sure, what they would have done is they would then test the temperature of the chocolate. So they wouldn't have used thermometers because they were quite expensive and they were made of glass, so they would break easily. So they would have just got their pinky finger like this and dipped it inside the chocolate to check for any hot spots. And then what do you guys think they would have done with the chocolatey finger? Yeah, if nobody was looking, they would have actually tasted the chocolate. I'm not doing that today. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to put our chocolate inside of the molds. In the factories, they would have used these metal molds, but they're really loud, they're really heavy and rusty. So we don't use these. What we do use now are these plastic molds. They're lighter, they're quieter, and they're all see-through, so we can tell which ones are done in the fridge. So I'm going to get chocolate like so. I just put it inside of the mold like this. Then I'm just going to spread it around, making sure that it fills all the gaps. Okay. Then I'm just going to scrape off the excess chocolate off the mold. And then because we've hand tempered the chocolate, we've actually put a lot of air inside of the chocolate. So to get rid of the air bubbles, I'm just going to tap it on the table a couple of times just to get rid of them. So as you can see, the air bubbles are now starting to form on top of our chocolate. So, important question for you guys. Do you like fillings inside of your chocolates? Yes, so like, no?
A bit. Depending on what it is.
Fair. So like caramels, creams, fudges. As you can see, there's no space for any fillings right now, so we need to make some space. So when I flip the chocolate like this, nothing comes out. I can put it over my head. Can I put it over your shake, nothing comes out. But if I give it a whack on the table and another shake, we get what we call chocolate rain. So this is a process called shelling, where we're getting the chocolate out of the middle and we'll be left with the chocolate shells. I'm just gonna scrape it off. And then what the ladies would have done then is they would pipe their filling inside these shells and then cover it up again with some more tempered chocolate. Depending on the weather, it could take hours, it could take days for the chocolate to set. But luckily we don't have to wait as long anymore because we do actually have fridges. So it takes about half an hour for our chocolate to be ready. And I'll show you guys some chocolate that was made earlier. Okay, can I get a drum roll please? So that's how they would have made chocolate in the Cadbury factories over 100 years ago. You guys can look, you can touch, but please don't eat because the chocolate is recycled. If you do go forward with the chocolate making, you can actually get a cup of melted chocolate with 2 toppings of your choice.
मैंने जितना सीखा उतनी आप लोगों को दिखाया, सब कुछ तो दिखा नहीं सके। आज के लिए इतना ही दोस्तों, नेक्स्ट आएंगे कोई नए वीडियो लेके आप लोगों के सामने। तो बाय बाय, आज के लिए इतना ही काफ़ी, बाय।